Fans, welcome to another edition of Pirate Classic Pregame with our head football coach, Steve Mooshagian, as we break down the 2019 game against East Los Angeles College. Coach Moose, how's it going?
It's going great. I just had flashbacks of East LA being up and having the game go down to the wire. It's one of those crazy ones.
So when we look at this game, it's late in the year. We just came off a tough, heartbreaking loss with College of the Canyons. So they're in the driver's seat. Long Beach Cities are playing them at COC at the same time we're playing East LA. During the week, what was going through your mind, you and the coaching staff, to prepare us for a bounce back game?
Well, that's exactly what we said. We said, hey, it's far from over. Yeah, COC's right now in the driver's seat. So is Long Beach. I said one of them's they're playing each other this week. So if Long Beach beats COC and we beat East, take care of business at East LA, we'll have a showdown. And we didn't know, with the tiebreakers and the point differential, there was still a whole bunch of things going on. So the playoff spot was very realistic. We only had to talk about 2018, where we had almost the same exact thing, where we lost to Canyons and we had to come back and play them in the postseason. So I think we had enough guys that figured it out. The problem being in a game like that is that you go up and you start to get complacent and not to get too far ahead, but I remember being 24/7 and going in to score and throwing an interception in the end zone and them running it back 99 yards. So instead of being up 31-7, it's now 24-14.
Yeah.
And it's, it changed the momentum of the game. And so this one became a roller coaster ride, so to speak.
So when we talk about that, we come out firing, put up 17 points in the first quarter, defense throws up a 0. Then, we put up another 7, and then the interception happens right before halftime. We're getting close to it. So whatever happened in the first half, we got to come out in the second half. What was the talk like with the team going into the second half?
Well, I remember, if I recall right, that we lost Travis Callaway. I think they said it was a targeting call, and then it eventually got overturned the next week by the commissioner, so he was able to play against Long Beach. But we didn't have him, who was kind of our leader at the back end of the secondary, and there was some, just a different group of people in there, and they made a couple third down and long conversions, which was not like our secondary so far this year. So that kind of brought them back in the game. And then our guys, you could just see it, we're up, and I think we went up 31-14. And then the guys were kind of getting complacent again. Then it's 31-21, and it goes, then it's 38-28. And so it was just one of those games where the guys, every time we got a lead, it was like, hey, it's a 4-quarter game. It's not over. How many times you can let them come back? And to give East LA credit, they started playing with a lot of emotion. And they had, we fumbled a exchange in their D linemen, and they had 3 or 4 defensive linemen that went on to play at the Division I level. And I think one of the kids that went to Missouri picked up the fumble and ran it back. And that's how they got one of their scores. In fact, they scored twice on defense. So when you look at it, our defense did a pretty good job. You take 14 points off the board that came from turnovers on offense. That makes it really tough for the guys on the back end, no doubt.
So when we look at it, we've talked about this in other shows, the second half. So like sometimes it's a good thing to be up. Sometimes we've been down and we play better in the second half to come back and win. We go from COC, the same things kind of happen in this East Los Angeles game. What did you and the coaches tell the guys to get them out of thinking that, oh, this is COC all over again?
Well, I think we did have enough immaturity, to use a lack of a better word, as far as guys playing together and confidence with one another. We really didn't have any true sophomore leaders that had played a great amount on the championship team from the year before. So a lot of guys, when they'd get a lead, they started thinking about themselves, like, oh, I can get out, save myself for a Long Beach game. We're up, and then my buddy can get in the game. And so you run into a little bit of that, just like we talked about that happened in the 2018 Moorpark game. So when we got up big. So it's just one of those things at this level, we're dealing with 18, 19-year-old kids that are thinking, way beyond how we think as coaches. We're thinking about the next play. And we always talk about, one day, one play, one game at a time. And I don't think it resonated yet with this group. I think after this game, it started to resonate a little bit. Going in the Long Beach game, I think they went into it with a much better mindset than they did here. There were still some guys feeling sorry for themselves from the week before, from being up big on COC and having a chance to go in and go up by 3 points, or 3 touchdowns, and then to not make it and then have them drive down and make it a 1-point game and eventually win. But yeah, it's frustrating, but it's part of junior college football coaching. You just know it's no different than you're in baseball and you take your pitcher out and you're up 8-0, and all of a sudden it's 8-7 in the bottom of the ninth, and you're scratching your head like, what the heck just happened? And it's something. That's the fun part about coaching at this level.
So, but at the end of the day, we pull out a win. We get news pretty much immediately what happens at COC with Long Beach winning. How did the mindset change? You enjoy the Saturday night. We got the win. What was going through your head on Sunday?
Oh, I think the kids changed it right away. They knew right away, coach, we got a chance to, get a piece of the championship. We got a chance to get a ring. We got a chance to go to the playoffs. And I told them going in that you can't even think about the playoffs without a victory. So we got to beat Long Beach first, and then the rest of the stuff is kind of out of our hands, because we still needed some help from other people. But definitely on Sunday, those are the kind of things I would be getting. Coach, does this mean if we win, we can still do this, or we can still do that? It totally rejuvenated our football team overnight. So I think they were all disappointed that we made the game closer than it needed to be. They did hold themselves accountable for a lot of things that happened. It was 1 or 2 bad breaks along the way. It really was just the way sometimes, in a season, it's just the way the ball bounces. And we had a couple things. The ball's tipped, picked off for 99, and the running back and the quarterback bump into each other, and the ball just happens to bounce right in the D lineman, who takes it back for a touchdown. So, the ball didn't bounce our way, and we still found a way to win. And that's the important thing.
Well, that was a good way to end that game. Let's talk about the now. We're about halfway through our fall, preparing for the spring football season. How's that been going with the staff and the players? How's the morale per se? Because usually we're thinking about, end of October, it's the back end of our conference schedule, and we're looking to see if we can make a playoffs. But how's everything going this fall?
They're actually doing a really good job. They're actually just thankful that they get to be out there a couple days a week and work out and see one another. They're working hard. We've had good, consistent groups. We're ready to start a second class on Monday, and we have some new kids that'll be showing up that have been out of the area and are taking some late start classes. So I think it's actually been, really positive thing. It's been an adjustment. You turn on your Facebook page and you see memories from last year pop up, and you're thinking, this game was this time at last year or 2 years ago or 5 years ago. So it's all new for all of us. You got, the Big Ten starting football. I get to wake up on Saturday morning, I can watch my wife's alma mater, Nebraska, play Ohio State. So, that'll be something. The Mountain West is back playing this week. For my alma mater, Fresno State's playing Hawaii. So, there's more games on the docket. And next week, the Pac-12, and we've got some of our former Jalen Watson that will be playing for Washington State. And, it's been exciting to be able to watch like Daniel Moraga at Pitt and Travis Kuntz at Texas Tech. And you think to yourself, hey, we had 2 Division I tight ends that are playing in Power 5 conferences, and you get to watch them. I've never gotten a chance to watch them, as much. And then seeing guys like, Jake Luton and Jesse Lemonier on Sunday. So it's kind of been nice for me as a fan, more so than it is. It's kind of taken away the sting of not coaching.
Oh, well, that's good to hear that the morale is high. We're working hard. Hopefully we get some really good news in the next few weeks. We know we're going to be kicking off in February with a nice little schedule. Instead of having Pirate Classics, we'll have live games to watch.
Yeah, we'll be the XFL part 3 now, and then they're going to come back in 2022. So it'll be so spring football is going to be here to stay for college this year, and then I know the FCS is going to play in the spring also, and a few others. Maybe some of the D2, D3s will also. So there'll be some spring football at the college level, and then the following year we'll just turn it back over to the XFL and say enough's enough. Yeah. We'll be playing. Let's get back to the fall and let them play in the spring, which is a good thing.
Well, thanks for coming on, fans. Remember, tomorrow night, 6 p.m. on the Crown Plaza VC Sports Network, our Pirate Classic game of the week is Ventura College against East LA from 2019. Coach, thanks for coming on.
Thank you, and go Pirates.